What's up, guys? Welcome back. One of the toughest parts about this job is coming up with new recipe ideas. One of my favorite ways to do that is to take two things that I like individually and marry them together. Today we're making jerk chicken lasagna. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen.
Hey, that's a palate pleaser.
Alright people, first things first, we need to get our prep work done and out of the way. So for that we have one yellow onion, some bell pepper, and some green onion. You can use whatever color bell pepper you want. I like the red and the green for the color contrast and presentation. So that's what we're going with today. Basically, if you've ever had Rasta Pasta, the idea here is we're making a chicken Alfredo lasagna, which is already a thing, right? And Rasta Pasta is already a thing. So we're going to take those two concepts and marry them together in the form of a jerk chicken lasagna. So that is the idea. Full disclosure, I've actually never made this recipe before, so if this doesn't work out, you'll never see this video. But if you do see this video, that means it's good and you need to make it. So here we go. We're going to dice up one onion. We'll dice up our bell pepper and our green onion. Then we're going to break down our chicken. Get some more jerk flavoring in there. If you can get a jerk chicken, that's ideal. If not, you can get a regular rotisserie chicken and add some jerk flavor to it. All right, guys, so we have our chicken broken down here. We're going to go ahead and cut it into bite-sized pieces. You can shred it up if you want to, or just give it a rough chop like you see me doing right here. Then we're going to add it to a mixing bowl. Add a little additional jerk seasoning to the party just to make sure we really get that jerk flavor on the chicken. We're also going to obviously add it to our pasta sauce. So it's going to be, you know, heavily present in the flavor profile. You guys are going to enjoy that if you like jerk flavor. If you like Rasta Pasta and you like lasagna, you're going to love this recipe right here. All right, guys, so when it comes to cooking lasagna, there's a few things you want to keep in mind. As with any pasta, you always want to salt your pasta water heavily, to the point where I taste the pasta water to make sure that I can taste the salt in it. That way you're salting your pasta as well. With lasagna, you don't want to overcook it. You want to cook it about half of what it says on the box, in my opinion. You still want it to be kind of stiff. That is going to result in the best result for your end product on the lasagna. It's going to hold together a little bit nicer. The noodles aren't going to fall apart on you. Now that we have that out of the way, I like to lay that out on some parchment paper so it doesn't stick together. And now we're going to shred our cheese. For that, you're going to need about 1.5 pounds of mozzarella. Next up, my friends, it's time to get started on our sauce. And for that, we're going to need about 1/4 stick of good quality butter. I'm a fan of Kerrygold. We'll use whatever's in the budget. We're going to go ahead and allow that to melt. Then we're going to add in our peppers, our onions. Again, I like the red and the green for the color contrast. We're going to add a little garlic. I'm also going to cheat a little bit and add some flour. The reason for that is because I want this sauce to be a little bit thicker than I would want my Alfredo sauce to be if I was making like fettuccine. And that's because I don't want a runny lasagna. I want the sauce to be relatively thick. So that's why we're going to use a roux or a little bit of flour just to thicken up our sauce a bit. All right, so we're going to give the veggies a little bit of a head start, a couple minutes before we go ahead and add in our garlic. Good tablespoon of garlic. We're going to season this up with my all-purpose seasoning. If you haven't tried that yet, you can get yours via MrMakeItHappen.com. I also have some new seasonings on the market. I have this Cajun seasoning that we're going to add here. We have a buttery garlic and herb seasoning, which I'm also going to add. And then, of course, we're going in with some Walker's Wood jerk paste. Tons of flavor going in. It's going to be delicious. Now, if you're, looking for something to make for Christmas, you want to switch it up. I know a lot of people do like an Italian-themed Christmas dinner. That's getting more and more popular out there. If you want to run lasagna, this might be the recipe for you. Damn, that smells good. All right, we're going in with about a heaping tablespoon of jerk paste. And then we're going to taste it and adjust it. I don't want it to be crazy spicy, but I definitely want the jerk flavor to be in there. For the roux, we got some all-purpose flour going in, a little pinch of allspice. We're going to cook that raw flour off and then add our heavy cream. As always, guys, the specific measurements and ingredients are listed for you on my website, MrMakeItHappen.com. You can get the full principal recipes for everything you see on YouTube and everywhere else right there on my website. All right, guys, so you want to go ahead and slowly add in your cheese. I like to always taste for seasoning before you add something like Parmesan, because Parmesan can be a little bit salty. So it's important to make sure your sauce is not too salty before you go adding a bunch of salty cheese. So we're going to slowly incorporate some Parmesan, a little bit of that mozzarella. Taste it one last time, make sure that it's spot on. And then it'll be time to start building our lasagna. You also want to taste for the jerk, seasoning. If you need to spice it up some more, you can add more jerk paste. You can use hot instead of mild like I did today. Totally customizable in terms of the spice, level based on your tolerance. You want to adjust it, based on your own preferences. Next up, my friends, it's time for the ricotta mixture. For that, we're going in with 15 ounces of whole milk ricotta. Don't use that low-fat BS. Equal parts ricotta and sour cream. I like to cut the ricotta because store-bought ricotta to me doesn't taste all that great. So we're gonna go in with a little bit of sour cream as well. When I say a little bit, I mean about equal parts. And then we're gonna add mozzarella and Parmesan, season it to taste. This is gonna help, add that cheese layer that you're used to in lasagna. So once you have your ricotta cheese mixture right where you want it, you want to taste it before you add the egg. That way, the flavor is spot on. We're gonna add the egg to act as a binder. We don't want this lasagna to be runny. So that egg is gonna assist in that department. One beaten egg, we're gonna get that in there after we tasted it for seasoning. And then just fold that together. And this is gonna be our ricotta cheese layer in our jerk chicken lasagna. All right, guys, now it's time to assemble the lasagna. I have my casserole dish. I have all of my ingredients prepped and ready. We're gonna start with one layer of cheese sauce at the bottom, a layer of noodles, a layer of our ricotta mixture. Then we're going down with our chicken, a layer of cheese, the cheese sauce, and then we're gonna repeat until our casserole dish is full. All right, guys, right here we have a beautiful 4-layer jerk chicken lasagna ready for a 375-degree oven. This is gonna bake for about 30 to 40 minutes. We want it to be nice and golden brown and beautiful on top, and then we wanna allow it to rest adequately before we cut into it. All right, guys, the key to the perfect presentation when it comes to your lasagna is to allow it to adequately cool. That way you can get the height that we have here with this beautiful 4-layer jerk chicken lasagna. This is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys, looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in for the taste test, but before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. I have my fork and I have my appetite because I haven't really eaten all day, and this is a beauty. Man, let's just dig in and see what we got. Safe to say this came out good. As long as it tastes half as good as it looks, we'll be good. Here we go. Sometimes you just nail it. This is a hefty big back portion right here too. Damn, that's good. Like the noodles are perfect.
Yeah, that bite?
Yeah. What more could you ask for?